Nivada Grenchen are back with a trio of watches inspired by some old dials and movements that they've found, and they've made a series of 3 different watches based on these dials. Obviously, since these dials existed, that means that this is a reissue. However, the 18 dials that they found, they have made watches with those dials, and those are for sale as well. They've made one with those dials. They've made a 35mm version and a 38mm version. I have the 38mm version, the reissue with a soap prod movement, hands-on to show you guys. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the Nivada Grenchen Antarctic with a Glacier dial and automatic soap prod movement. Nivada Grenchen makes some pretty handsome watches, and they do a lot of reissuing. So reissuing of watches that they made in the past. And recently they came across, I think it was around 18 cases and dials, or it might have just been the dials for this original watch. And they also came across the movements. So they put together a watch in 35mm that has a vintage dial and a vintage movement. And they are selling those on their website. I'm not sure if those are sold out yet, but I think they were selling them for a pretty decent price. At the same time, they came out with 2 other versions. This version, which is the slightly larger version, a little bit more modern than the smaller 35mm version. That 35mm version is pretty cool though. That reissue looks fantastic. It looks like the original, almost exactly the same, except you're getting a hand-wound soap prod movement inside. I believe it's a soap prod movement. I know that it's hand-wound. This one gets a soap prod movement as well. That's the P024. That's basically an ETA 2824. It is a clone of that movement. So you're getting an automatic movement inside of this watch. Just like the 35mm reissue, this gets the exact same case except slightly larger. It is in stainless steel. You have brushing and polishing on the case. You have a slightly boxed domed sapphire crystal, and you get that beautiful Tuxedo dial. So down the center of the dial, that is a brushed silver. The outer portion is in black. So it's a black and white or black and silver dial. You have applied indices on that black portion, and then you have a date at the 3 o'clock with a surround. So there's a little window around that date window. It looks slightly larger than its dimensions. It's a 38mm watch, spot on. It has around a 44.5mm lug to lug and an 11mm thickness. However, it looks like a 39mm. I'm not sure why. It could be because of the dial and the way that it's situated. It looks visually a little bit larger in hand, but on wrist it wears like a 38mm watch. You have a really nice crown on here that mimics the original watch's crown as well. You have their logo on the crown right there. Turning it over, you have a beautiful caseback that is embossed, screwed in, and fully polished. That center coin is plated in gold, and it says Antarctic Nivada Grenchen. I believe that is the US base that this is depicting in Antarctica. It looks really good. The caseback looks really good. I really like this overall look for the Antarctic. It just looks really neat and clean. I love the silver and black combination. On wrist today, I have a very strange watch. This was an eBay purchase that I recently made, and this is a Ventura. It's a Ventura Spark. This is an auto quartz watch with a integrated bracelet, case. It's not really integrated, but it kind of is at the same time. These are from a brand that are no longer making watches. I really wish that someone would buy this brand and restart it. Maybe the group that owns Nivada Grenchen would consider that, because this is a very cool brand. And there it is on my 7.5-inch wrist. This does get 100 meters of water resistance. It's around 11 millimeters thick, somewhere in that range. And then you have about a 44.5mm lug to lug. It is a 38mm watch, and like I said, it wears like a 38mm watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. This looks good. It could be a dress watch if you really wanted to wear it as a dress watch, but obviously you get the water resistance, that sporty look with the Tuxedo dial. It does kind of dress it up a little bit. It doesn't make it look like a field watch as much as a more standard field watch dial, and I kind of like that. So this is like an explorer style watch, of course, because it is the Antarctic, but all in all, I love the look and I love the size. And there you go. You can see there is lume on the perimeter of the dial, just little dots at all of the indices. However, when you move around the watch, you can see them because the sapphire crystal actually distorts that area of the dial, so it kind of distorts the lume. So you can't see the lume as much unless you move it around. And then there is just a little line of polish on the hour and minute hand, no lume on the seconds hand, so you don't see that your watch is working in the dark. I like to see that my watch is working in the dark, but it's not that big of a deal. This is a great watch, and the Antarctic in general, I think, is a very underrated explorer style watch for the money. These come in under $1,000. If you want the 35mm version or the 38mm version, it doesn't matter. And that's a really good price considering the heritage behind this watch and the build quality. I think that Nivada Grenchen and the group that owns Nivada Grenchen, so the Vulcane, Nivada Grenchen, and there's a few other brands under that umbrella, Chronofix, they make very high quality watches. And a lot of their watches feel a lot more expensive and have history. And there's not a lot of micro brands out there that really could compete with them based on those two facts, their quality and their history. It's kind of crazy that they charge the prices that they do, but they are really competing with basically micro brands at that price level. So this is $945. Really great price for this watch, and obviously it is a really cool watch as well. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I will add a link to this watch down in the description. Definitely check it out if you are interested. And they make tons of different dials for this watch, so definitely check those out. If this is not a dial that you're into, there are plenty of other dial colors, more traditional dials, more explorer style dials if you are interested in that. So definitely check out their website. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I will catch you guys in the next video.